Howdy y'all, welcome to Lac Plays. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Hello, sheeps. Back into the basement we go. You know what? Not back in the basement we go. I didn't bring any stone with me. It's kind of hard to work on the house if I don't bring any stone. Let's see, you got some stone for me, right? And why don't you take this, and then we will grab some... Wait, that's bizarre. Why do I not have my helmet on my head? I need the coals. That's wool. Coal. Eh? No? Coal, there we go. I like that my coal is all the way over here and not next to my furnaces. Although, it's kind of bizarre that I have stuff in two different spots as well. Alright, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to cook that up. Got anything else cooked in here? Nope. Alright. I got some potatoes. That's good because I'm out of food. That's, what, 7 pieces of coal there for that. So why don't you go ahead and cook that up. That is cobble, right? Yeah. Alright. So... Back in the basement we go. Man, I have been reading this awesome book series. At least I think it's awesome. Called... I'm gonna stone this here. Called The Council Wars. It is by John Ringo. And it has been pretty good so far, like really good. It's about I've finished 2 books of the series. There's at least 4 of them. I have 4 of them. I didn't look to see if there were any new ones. I don't know, maybe the series ends and that's the end of it. But it's set in the like 41st century. And so the whole world is basically run by a council, and sometime in the past, yeah, we'll deal with that in a minute. There were some wars, and, well, of course there were some wars. It's on Earth. But there were some, hold on, my brain will kick in here in a second. There was a war against some AI stuff, and so they put pretty heavy restrictions on a lot of things. And one of the AIs that help the humans is called Mother. And so Mother is basically in charge of the entire planet, but she is controlled by a council of humans. And so but the computer Mother does things like control the entire planet. Must be covered in nanites or something, and like the weather's controlled by Mother, and you know, they don't really have diseases per se, although the book does start off with this kid being cured of a genetic disorder he's got. And, well, I think he's been cured. I don't know, they haven't made mention of it in most of 2 books now, after they cured at the beginning. But so unless it's something really horrific, you know, it doesn't really exist anymore. And so uh, the council runs everything, and they they meet, and vote on things and stuff like that. And so the one of the guys, he's not a council member at the beginning of the book, but this guy has decided, his name's Peter. I'm pretty sure it's Peter. And he has decided that he doesn't like what's happened to humanity. And because they're so far advanced technologically, they've gotten to the point where they can alter their bodies and teleport and stuff like that. And like all their food is grown by the machines, and so people basically just go ahead and do, as long as it doesn't harm another person, they just go ahead and do whatever they want. And so this guy decides that he doesn't like what's going on with humanity. They're down to just a few million people, and because they don't have children as much anymore, because people live for hundreds of years, and I mean, they have, like, they call them homunculi in the book, but they have basically just humanoid automatons and stuff like that. And so people have changed themselves to be like dolphins, which is kind of funny when I think about it, because they've got that episode of South Park where they do the plastic surgery to become dolphin people, which was funny. But so he says that people who've had this done aren't even human anymore, and so he wants it shut down. And he doesn't like that the machines do all the actual work for them, and that humans need to work to support themselves. Otherwise, they're going to stop reproducing altogether. And so he wants it all shut down. He's got a 5-year plan, and at the end of the 5 years, all humans will be forced to work for their food. And if they don't work, then they die. And all women need to become, basically child-producing machines. And that's their only purpose in life, is to have babies, to repopulate the planet. And so, of course, the council's against this because it's pretty horrific. You know what? I'm going to go run down in the cave here and get some stone while I'm talking. And so he goes to the council with this proposal, and of course they vote him down. And so since he can't get it that way, he comes up with a new plan. And what he does is he gets together some people who agree with him, sort of. I don't know how they can agree with him. I think they were just looking for a power grab. I don't think they actually agree with his policies. And so they don't have enough votes to force everybody onto this plan that they want, because they're going to get rid of the ability to change. So, like, there are people who are dolphins. That's how come he doesn't get it, is because there are rules on what kind of laws they can change. And one of their rules is that they can't do anything that could potentially put people in harm. And so, because people are dolphins, it would be very stressful to pull them out of the water to change them. And so they might die from being, brought, because it's really difficult to move dolphins. Now, although I would imagine that if they used their technology, it wouldn't have been that hard, but they use it as an excuse to turn down his proposal. And so he comes back with enough council members to vote to remove the personal protection fields from around the council members, and the council members have an item called a key, and it's basically like a security card, and that is their vote. And so his new plan is just to kill off the council members and take their keys. And so that's what he does. He brings in enough people to vote to drop the protection shields around council members. The council chamber itself is fortified against attack, both internally and externally, and so you can't bring in weapons or poisons or anything like that. And so what he does is he gets one of the people on his side to make up a... okay, so one of the people on his side wants to make monsters. That's their whole thing. They want to experiment with animals and people and see what kind of dangerous, monstrous creations they can make. And so that's their motivation for coming to his side. And oh, I seriously didn't get... Oh, there. Okay. You cook up, you're cooking up, and you give me these. You take those. We'll throw in some more coal for you. And so they get these wasps that the one person made, and there's two different kinds. And so one kind is one type of poison, and the other is well, no, neither item is a poison, but it's a binary poison. So you need both hits for it to affect you. And so they can get the wasps in the council chamber, and so once they get inside with the wasps, they go ahead and let the wasps go, and so what they wind up with is poison that'll kill off the council members now that their protection field is gone. And so it's pretty drastic. Because he feels that humanity is doomed if they don't do something. And he went and talked to one of the other council members at the beginning of the book, and she's like, I can see where you're coming from, but your stats are wrong. And that this stuff will balance out eventually. And he wasn't willing to wait. So he didn't get enough. I think I just knocked my doors out there, but I've got to put a full block here. I have to go up and get my doors, or did I grabbed my doors? Some of them anyways. And so yeah, he does that, and then that's where the book actually starts. Right, you gotta get through all this beginning stuff, and then what happens is Alright, you gotta get out of here. The system that's in place, then... Yeah, this is all supposed to be open through here. I think this comes off here. You come off, you come off. There we go. And so... the council then goes to war with these people because they grab some of the keys, and what winds up happening is the groups get... Oh yeah, no, you were supposed to be like that. The groups get near even control over what's going on. Oh yeah, because you're a different kind of wood. And so they go ahead and shut down like the power and stuff. I didn't realize my sound was up so loud. And on each other, and so that's all well and good for... I planted a magic beanstalk. That's all well and good for the council because they still have access to their machines. but the entire population of the planet has become used to using this technology, and all of a sudden that technology is just not there anymore. And so they're all forced into a world where there's no technology, because with two groups fighting over control of actual power, like electrical power, to run all the machines that they use, uh, then the normal people just living their everyday lives lose out, because there's no power to spare for food production, medicine, teleportation, none of that. And so the whole planet's been revamped, so there aren't cities or anything. And so it goes from there, and they, you know, they have different peoples who live different types of lives, I guess. I wouldn't want to say types of lives. You know, I kind of want to tear this whole floor out and replace it with full blocks. Wait, I don't really need to do it that way, though. I can just use... Whoops. We'll fix you later. I can just do it this way. And so... so with that happening, there are people, like I said, who live different eras. They're like reenactors. And so some of them live like medieval lives, and for the fun of it, not because they have to. Although, thanks to everything that just went down in the council chambers, they have to. And so, you know, there are people out there who can live without the technology. And so they start setting up. The one guy, he had actually been involved with. There's a country in the book called Archaica or something like that, where people live like knights and you know, fight monsters and stuff. And so he had been involved in that quite a bit, and he didn't like the way things were done there, so he moved to a new area and started his own town that worked the same way, you know, medieval technologies and stuff. Not quite purist, but, you know, they're pretty close. And so he knew how to do a lot of things by hand, but he still was considered a master smith across the world, and he made like powered knight's armor with, you know, all the nanotechnology stuff. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting this is a different kind of block. You can't place that on there. And so that's basically where the book revolves around after the first little part where the council actually goes to war with itself. Well, that guy tried to stage a coup, and but yeah, it's really good because it follows them after the loss of technology. It doesn't really focus on the council at all, which is kind of funny to me. And so it's almost all about the war between the people who don't have power, and because like okay, so the guy's crazy, right? The guy who wants everybody to go back to being having children and stuff. He's just straight up crazy. And I think this is the right way. I don't remember how many windows there were across the back here. Let's just go with this, and we'll pretend that's the way it was. And I'm going to go out and put some stone across the front of it there. Because that's the way it was in reality. And so, because this will all be in the dark here, but these weren't open. This was where I'm at right here. Where I'm at right here is all cement. This is just one big giant block of cement right here underneath this floor. And although I'm not going to put that much stone out here, but I do need enough stone to block off those windows because they were in the basement. You know, that window is not as low to the ground, I think, as I remember it being. This is a conundrum. if I put it down one block, then it's too high in the basement. It really needs to be in between those two blocks, because it was like head height. And so my choice is one too high or what I feel is one too low. But to be accurate on the outside, it would have to be like this, but it was not waist high, it was head high. I guess we can go with... Nope, I don't like it like this. It's gotta be the other way. I don't like the way it looks from in here. So it's just gonna be wrong on the outside, I guess. Okay, we got those. All right, but so they kind of follow the this Duke Edmund guy who run the city of Raven's Mill, and then there's a kid who in the book he had a genetic disease that was killing him, like he had convulsions and stuff, and so the one character she figured out how to fix him because she's a gene doctor, and so she had used the nanites to fix him just before this all went down. And so he had started getting into the Ren Fair stuff, the Renaissance Fair stuff, the archaic living. And so turned out he was really good at it, of course, because he's kind of the hero of the books. And all right, now I think we wind up with this, like that. We'll tear out one more here. No, it's too big. It's these two. And then over here, there's just a couple of blocks missing, like that. Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay, and then I also, did I do that? I did it without thinking. I turned all my wood that I was cutting down earlier. I was going to use part of that as the beams across through here, and then I just went ahead and got rid of it. But the bad guys, they're crazy. They're just completely crazy, and so they attract the crazier people. So like, there's a dude that I think he killed someone, or maybe he killed and raped people, and before they could bring him in, he had gone and had his body changed. This is pre Council War. He had his body changed so that he was a kraken and swam so deep in the ocean no one could find him. And so they had no idea where he was at. So he was in the last book here. They fought him as a kraken. But there are other things that don't exist or that aren't people-based too. The pre-AI war, I think, the United States government decided to make a super soldier, and so they're kind of like humans, but they were built completely from scratch, and they apparently don't age, and they don't, whatever it is they do, they're called elves now, and they've been outlawed, so nobody new can be an elf, but they can have children, so there are new elves. But like the one elf in the book who's still interacting with humans, she's like over 2,000 years old at this point. And then there's dragons, which are also a built species. They were made by Disney. There's a couple of groups in the book that were made by Disney, which I think is funny. And so, you know, it's not just humans, and but then the bad guys are actually taking humans and changing them, right? This is the group who's anti-change, and everybody needs to be human again. And their human soldiers are not a match for the good guys' human soldiers, and so the crazy leader gave permission to the woman who, or I think it's a woman, wants to make monsters, and so she made what they're calling orcs now. And so these huge battles in the books between humans and orcs, and so it's kind of a neat twist on fantasy, um, and like one of the council members is this guy they call the Demon, and he broke all the rules for life modification, and so he's basically immortal now, and he's been alive. He's the oldest council member because he's been alive forever. And oh, get out of here. And you know, and so they're not happy that he's part of the bad guys and stuff, but what are they gonna do? Okay. Alright, what am I gonna do here? I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go get some different wood, and we're gonna start putting up some shelves. Let's see. I got some dark oak. I got some jungle. I'd really like some, maybe some spruce. I got a lot of spruce here too. Here, you take all this stuff that I'm not using at the moment. Leave me with the spruce. You take those. I don't need that. Don't need that. All this stuff. Get out of my way. Oh, you know, I should probably keep some cobble on me. I might need that in a minute here. Okay, and then let's make these into stairs. Oh, you know what though? I'm gonna need planks as well, so let's not get rid of all my wood here and get me some planks. I'm probably gonna need more planks than that, so plank me up. Okay, there we go. And so yeah, it's really good. John Ringo is got to be getting to be about one of my favorite authors at this point. He writes my favorite zombie books. He's got really awesome space series, couple of space series that I've read. Okay, I'm gonna start it here. I think this should be just about the right spot. Okay, and then we'll start it here. Actually, I want it there, so let's put these back one here. Okay, and then we get the... Alright, so maybe this isn't as big as I thought it was in my head. Oh, you know what? This should probably have a thing in the middle here. A thing being supports. Yeah, like that. Now, I talked a bit about the canning that we used to do, and so you can imagine this is more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves that run just about the length of the side here. And of course in Minecraft everything's different, so I can't quite fit that in there, but it was a huge deal with all the canning that we would do in here. I actually think maybe this should go down one more. I know it didn't go all the way to the end, because at one point this was someone's bedroom too. Not that we had kept a bedroom down here very often, but you know what? I'm also missing. I did it again. Did I not just chop down some oak wood, or was that earlier? I can't remember. I'm hallucinating, I think. Well, not hallucinating. That's not what I meant. I am Operating in a fog, something. Do I have just some nice plain, there we go, oak wood. But yeah, it's an awesome series. If you like that kind of stuff, definitely check it out. I really enjoyed it. Okay, now I've got this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there was a post in the middle, and then every other post ran. Which way did they run? There were only a couple of them, and I think they ran this way. Oh, and that was my extra thing in there, but we'll go like that. All right. And then, man, I wish we could do. I need to figure out how to do that. Let me jump out here and make some stairs real quick and see what this looks like. Now, because it was the basement, let's save some of this log just in case I need it. The joists are visible, and I think this'll work great. I'll probably have to put another group of slabs and stuff down here, but you gotta understand how low the ceiling was down here. Was terribly low, and so then you had the joists ran across. I can't tell where that's at. Is that here? Yeah. I'm gonna have to leave that one open so I can get out of here. Oh, let me get this one back here. Okay. I should probably actually move this back one, just so this fits in here better. But yeah, I'm actually a little over 6 foot tall, and so this basement was ridiculously short. Like, I had to come down here and just constantly be hunched down the entire time so I didn't hit my head on things. And then being an old farmhouse like it was, uh-oh, now the window's off by one. It's alright, we can fix it. And being an old farmhouse like it was, though, it also was full of spiders. And so that was not fun. Spider webs, I guess, not actual spiders. And so really, I'm not gonna put a full like set of things down here, because that would be every 16 inches. But we'll go with that for now. I get some more of these down here, and so, you know, ceiling's really low. There was like one light when I was a kid, and it was like right here. So, and to turn it on, you had to actually come into the basement and pull a pull cord. When I was older and I was remodeling, I actually put in some lights down here. I'm going to tell that one funny story about the lights, because I've been wanting to tell it ever since we started the basement. I'm going to tell it right now, and then we'll go. So, so the house is really old, right? I mean, like really, really old. And the wiring is ridiculous. And so I had started, even before I was the person doing the remodeling, I had started replacing wiring in the rooms and with modern wiring. And so it was terrible. I really want to do another one across here in the middle with the post. Whoops. Seriously, we just go where I want you to. Yeah, like that. And so later when I was doing the remodeling, in charge of the remodeling, then we got down in here to do the remodeling. Man, if I need to bump. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I should really bump this one over 1, I think. And so I was redoing all this wiring, and so they had started doing some of it before I took over. And so one of the things they did was they put in sub panels, which is we used 1, 2, 3. Hold on, I've got to get this in the right spot here. Which is the use of smaller breaker boxes to hold breakers when you have a whole bunch of things to plug in. And so we wound up with a couple of sub panels down here. And so the the main box is like right over here in this corner. And we unhooked it, like completely tore it out, started to put a brand new box in, run all new wiring. And when we took it out, it was there's 3 wires coming in from outside. Now on the farm we had a box where you could turn the power off completely to the house, and so we did that before we unhooked everything, so we didn't get electrocuted. And then we go to put it back together. We had hooked up all these lights in the basement, and that was the only thing hooked up to the box. And I'm like, hey, don't you think you got those wires in there wrong? And here, let me show you. Let me show you what it looked like. Maybe we'll try this right here. All right, I'm gonna do with stairs. But let's say this is the box right here. And so you had a wire come down into the box, and then you had a wire come down into the box, and you had a wire come down in the box, all right? And this is the box, okay? And so what it's supposed to be is a neutral, or not a neutral, a neutral, and then a hot wire, a power wire. And so wherever my brother had hooked up wires before, it went hot, neutral, neutral. And so that's the way he did it. And I'm like, dude, I don't think that's right. I wrote down what it was before we took it all out, and he's like, no, this is the way it is. And so so we went outside, we flipped the power back on at the box outside, and all that was hooked up was the lights in the basement, and they come on, and they got brighter and brighter and brighter and exploded, like actual exploding light bulbs. It was awesome. And so then we took it back down and, got some new light bulbs and hooked the wires back up the way I thought they should go, and turned it back on, and we had lights in the basement. It was awesome. We had a switch. You could switch upstairs to turn the lights on in the basement. There were like 6 or 8, maybe even 9 lights all over the place in the basement so we could see, because I was tired of digging around in the dark looking for stuff. Yeah. All right, well, I am going to call it here. So click like you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one, and I'll talk to you later.